During the Revolutionary War, Army transportation functions were initially performed by two other branches. The Quartermaster Corps, which was responsible for wagon and boat transportation, and the Corps of Engineers, which was responsible for hovercraft and later military railroads. The demands of World War I, however, highlighted the Army's need for a single military transportation manager. So began an evolution culminating in the birth of the Transportation Corps during World War II. Today's Transportation Corps supports the Army from soldier to theater level, providing transportation platforms and intermodal movement control as part of a multifunctional force sustainment logistics team that also includes ordnance and quartermaster professionals. Junior Transportation Corps officers can expect to spend most of their time in the Army's operating force, honing their small unit leadership and logistics expertise. This is an invaluable training and educational experience that helps them to understand the larger Army that they serve. As they approach mid-career, Transportation Corps officers matriculate into the broader Logistics Corps, where they're afforded opportunities to pursue graduate education and develop the multifunctional expertise suiting them for leadership in either operating force or generating force logistics assignments. Transportation Corps officers possess a special blend of skills, knowledge, and behaviors. Their unique talents help them to succeed in any mission.
Inspirational leader.
Transportation Corps officers are expert at motivating soldiers to work harmoniously towards desired outcomes.
To be able to be an inspirational leader is crucial because you have to motivate your people.
I had to figure out, what am I going to do to motivate my soldiers?
It's the 11th hour and you're cold, wet, tired, and hungry.
The soldiers are performing some tasks that might seem mundane.
You don't really understand why you're there, why you're in a place where people don't want you to be there.
We give them value. We help them understand what their worth is in the fight.
Innovative.
The spectrum of challenges facing transportation officers routinely requires them to devise new and creative practices, leading change to accomplish any mission.
Innovation is absolutely essential.
You got to be creative with your resources.
As soon as a Transportation Corps leader, you go out and you're on a convoy, you're on the front line, wherever you are.
You're going to be facing an enemy, and that enemy is just as innovative as we are.
Problem solver.
Transportation Corps officers routinely use a mix of established practices and new unorthodox solutions to meet complex and ever-changing challenges.
We have such a wide variety of missions.
Sometimes you're given missions that might be untraditional or non-doctrinal.
How are we going to approach getting this, M1A3 that's mired in this mud pit? Like, how can we, pull that out with this head? Because the 88 just got stuck as well.
Really got to be a divergent thinker and able to come up with the most time and cost-effective solutions.
Cross-culturally fluent.
Transportation Corps officers comfortably operate across different cultural settings. Working with America's partners, they use this talent to support the national military strategy.
A transportation officer has to be cross-culturally fluent across a lot of levels of organization, systems, and different demographics.
Race, gender, ethnicity.
When you take a look at the Transportation Corps, you'll find that we are very diverse.
The soldiers that we have come from all slices of America.
The richness of this diversity allows us to make better outcomes.
Logical, analytical.
Transportation Corps officers are able to disaggregate and solve complex problems. Thinking in terms of cause and effect, they logically analyze mission requirements to provide the most effective and efficient transportation support possible.
Another big part of being a Transportation Corps officer is developing a good plan that works with a lot of different other agencies.
You absolutely have to be able to analyze the data.
Going to give you another set of tools in your toolkit to analyze and assess a situation.
You can't get away from the logical piece of it.
The Transportation Corps has recognized how important that is.
I went to school at Niagara University.
To the University of California, Santa Barbara.
Commissioned through ROTC.
I was commissioned from West Point.
Majored in occupational safety.
Political science.
Psychology and philosophy.
What's so special about being a transportation officer?
I love it because it's a small branch, it's a small community.
I think what's neat about us is the challenge.
Everything we do when it comes to support has a strategic implication.
I looked at all the branches, and Transportation Corps was one of the branches that reached out into all areas of the military.
I've worked with the Navy, the Air Force, and the Marines.
Most people, when they think of transportation, they think of truck drivers. And so oftentimes what I hear is that, well, I don't want to be a truck driver.
Within the Transportation Corps, you have trucks, rail, boats, airplanes.
I've got to work on all different modes of transportation.
We have more boats than the Navy.
Transportation Corps officers are part of a logistics officer team.
You have to be able to hear what your customer says is a requirement.
One of our strengths in the transportation community is that we develop our leaders.
The amount of responsibility that we're given, the amount of trust that was placed in me by my battalion commander, who was an aviator, was just absolutely amazing.
It can be a very daunting task as that brand new second lieutenant when your battalion commander assigned you as the battalion unit movement officer.
So now I'm thinking, okay, I've got helicopters, I've got trucks, I've got containers, as well as personnel, and I'm responsible at 22 years old to move them all to Iraq.
Nothing happens until something moves.
It was just overwhelming. I couldn't believe I had accomplished that.
Transportation goes everywhere.
You call, we haul.
We are the spearhead of logistics.